Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
How is everybody doing?
I'm doing really good. How are
Doing
you doing?
really good. I'm really excited to talk about this topic. I had someone ask me this question just the other day, and I thought, yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, we hear the stories, and we've watched, the mall in Miami, and we've talked. You've probably listened to a lot of people talk about aliens and conversing with aliens. So this is a great topic.
Yeah, it always seems to be like a mystery.
Yeah.
Someone's always asking, how do I do this or how do I do that? And it's really more simple than people like make it out to be. A lot of people think that,
Yeah.
oh, you have to go into a deep meditation and then you have to align yourself with source and then you have to align yourself with your higher self. Then your higher selves have to come down and then everything blacks out and you go have an out-of-body experience. Has it been like that for you?
Yeah, like when I first started, I wasn't interested in communicating with aliens. For me, it's always been the angels. So I remember when I first started channeling for people, saying to my team, "Okay, I'm down to do this. Just don't freak me out, okay?" So I basically got introduced to different ET energies probably about 3 years in. So I started to notice people's starseed family members introducing themselves and also their starseed origins, where they've been other than Earth. And that was a bit of a surprise for me at first. But 8 years down the road now, it's not too much of a surprise for me anymore. And I realize and recognize that we're in charge and we get to decide which energy steps forward and to converse with us, whether it's ETs or aliens or whomever the case may be. All
Yeah, I'm glad
right.
we got
Oh,
that
hi,
situated.
Richard.
Hello,
So yeah,
Richard.
so have you always been interested in communicating with aliens, Paul?
Yeah, I've always been interested in doing this, communicating with ETs and things like that. I don't know, like with you, it was more like with the angels because
Yeah.
you followed Dorian Virtue and some of these other people that you really enjoyed talking to. But when I really got interested in communicating with aliens is some of the people that did a course with you. Alex Oren was one of them.
Mhm.
He got me a little bit more interested in
Yeah.
that, and I was just always interested in that because I always felt like I wasn't from here. I wasn't from
Yeah.
this planet. So I was like, it would be nice to communicate with some of these energies,
Yeah.
and you're the one that helped teach me how to channel these energies, which I am eternally grateful for.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn how to communicate with spirit, I highly recommend taking one of Kristin's courses because it really helped me so much and basically do help me do what I'm doing today and help me teach other people how to do this as well. And the cool thing is you kind of learn how to channel the angels first, which I really like because once you're first starting out, you don't really want to channel a ton of ET energies. Maybe you want to,
Maybe you
but
do,
most people,
and that's
yeah,
fine too.
yeah, that's fine. But in my experience, it's easier, especially if you're a little bit ungrounded, to start channeling with the angels first,
Mhm.
and then you can move on to ETs, or you can just do all at the same time if you want to.
If you've had a
But
lot of
yeah,
like starseed origins that are vastly different than Earth, okay, and you feel like you're quite ungrounded, maybe you lose things, and you feel like you're kind of hovering outside your body a lot of the time, then it's so important to channel your spirit guides and your angels first, and then with the courses and classes I offer, we move into ET energies and trying on different energies. All of it is energy. Notice I'm talking about energy. I'm not talking about a gray alien coming into your house and setting up shop in your living room. That would be uncomfortable, and your team would never allow that to happen. And people say to me, well, what about the people that are being abducted? Or what about the people that have had experiences when they're sleeping and they head off into a UFO, etc.? And what I receive from the angels is that that was agreed upon. So your soul has agreed upon that. But remember, you have a say in everything. And if you don't like something, speak up and say what you don't
Mm,
like.
for
Okay.
sure.
Boulder, Colorado. How cool is that?
Hello, Heidi.
I, I had a couple questions for you. I just thought, while we're at it, and then I think we'll take some of your guys' questions if that's okay.
Mm,
If you guys are having any questions about channeling or channeling aliens or communicating with aliens. So, Paul, where are aliens? What a question, eh? Are they only at the Miami Mall?
Well, what I've learned about doing a lot of this work is a lot of people they want, the aliens to show up right in front of them and they want to be able to see them physically and everything. And, that's fine and sounds nice and all, but when that actually happens and you actually have them show up right in front of you and you see everything and you're completely open, that can be very intense for people. And it can be a real shock for people even if you're quite familiar with this type of ET energy and spirituality, it can be quite intense for your vessel if they do that, if that makes any sense. But for the most part, a lot of these ETs are kind of ascended and they're in a different dimension. So they're kind of just most of them, when you're communicating with them, they're just kind of projecting their consciousness here. They're kind of omnipresent, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so
Uh, and that,
we don't
and that,
see any
mhm,
time. There's no
mhm.
time or
Yeah.
operation in the physical.
Yeah,
There,
so for example, it's like a lot of these ETs can project their consciousness in multiple places at once, if
Mhm.
that makes any sense.
Or they
And sometimes they'll actually, bring their spaceship here and hang out and work on you or whatever. But a lot of times it's just them, projecting their consciousness or a fractal part of themselves to you so that you can communicate with them.
Mhm.
And
And
yeah.
the higher dimensions are in the high dimensions. They're so high vibrational. Like you can hang. They know that we can only communicate with them for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and
Mhm,
that's about it because
mhm,
they're that high vibrational that we can only energetically hold that with
mhm,
them for that period of time. And then you look at the different kinds of aliens that are out there. I mean, Sirian, Arcturian, Andromedan, Orion, Greys, Mantis, hybrids. And so each one is capable of communicating very well,
mhm.
and they're communicating in different ways. And they also are emitting quite a different frequency. So if I'm channeling the Pleiadians, it's vastly different than the Greys.
For sure,
I, pre-
yeah, and
I
it's
prefer the
not just
Pleiadians.
about yeah, the Palladians are the best, and it's not just about how high the frequency is; it's how different the frequency is to our energy too. So
Yeah,
that's a huge
yeah,
factor because, like, the angels are very high vibrational and stuff, but it doesn't affect it won't affect you as much
yeah,
because they're kind of attuned more to Earth and the
yeah.
energy here on Earth,
Exactly.
as where ET energy is it's totally different. So it's going to be having a different effect on you.
And it's the same as when you communicate with a soul that's been on Earth. Maybe it's a loved one versus a soul that's never incarnated on Earth. You can feel the vibrational difference. It feels more Earth energy to the soul. And the interesting thing is, there's no hiding anything. Okay, everything's by telepathy. Everybody knows your frequency. Everybody knows your thoughts. It's like a radio station that's sent out. So your thoughts are sent out, your frequency is sent out, and everyone can pick up on it, which was a little bit much for me in the beginning. I was like, but once you realize that everything is energy, including your own thoughts, everybody can pick up on it. So then it's very easy to, once you get the flow going, it's very easy to communicate with aliens. It's very easy. Okay.
Yeah, the cool thing is it's not only like we they can pick up on what we're thinking, but we can also pick up on what they're thinking too at times. And also all the it's like people are like, "Oh, they're kind of scared to be around like what are you channeling? You might be channeling a wrong ET or something." Well, there's a whole team around us and they can all hear what this ET is saying too. The Archangel Michael, they all talk to each other. It's all like it's all kind of mixed together. It's really cool. And yeah, I noticed in the higher dimensions, they are the the difference between the veil and where they are is very thin. Like
Mhm.
with us, it's more of a separation. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're speaking with the spirit world. Oh, it's somewhere
Yeah.
different. It kind of feels
Temporary
different, you know.
separation. Once you leave your body, you're going to be immersed right back into it, and you'll be able to collect and gain any kind of access to knowledge of any kind you wish. So what we have here on Earth is, who is a medium? We're all mediums. We're just learning how to relearn doing this. And if anybody's interested in coming and learning, I'm offering a course for 5 days, June 14th until the 18th. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We have quite a number of people signed up already, and communicating with aliens will be a part of that. And not only that, but communicating with your angels, getting your angels' names, okay? And it's $125. So if you look around at what others are offering at that price point, I'm on the lower end. And I know that may be shocking to some of you, but some people are doing thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I also like that it's not like a huge time commitment too.
No,
It's not like a 6 week,
no.
8 week course. You feel drained at the end of it. It's only like a week long, but it's jam
Yeah,
packed.
yeah.
So you get to learn a whole lot, and the amount of learning that you learn from that, you keep learning more and more after the course too. Like you keep opening more and more because it's really
And if
cool.
you can't make a certain live or a pre-recorded video or catch up afterwards, it's okay. Work around your own schedule, and then it's all available for you to download afterwards and save forever, so you can watch it anytime you want. And yeah, it's just something that I've always been really passionate about doing, is helping people communicate with the energy that's all around you all the time. So here's a question. Before channeling for others, were you aware that you could communicate with aliens or ET energies?
I think I was partly aware, that we can communicate with the divine and our spirit guides, but no one ever really talks about it. A lot of people in the spiritual community too, they're like, yeah, you can do light language or you can do this, but they don't ever really talk that you can just straight up channel them,
No,
like
even
right there.
me.
Yeah,
And I
and
was
it does,
channeling for 3 years,
yeah,
and I didn't.
and it doesn't have to be like trans channeling, like the energy
Right.
doesn't have to take over your vessel or
Yeah.
anything. You can just, it doesn't have to be scary like that or whatever. If you're scared of that, you can just tap off to the side and communicate with them, and it's uh, pretty easy. And you know, I over time, uh, you don't want to have to go to someone all the time for your guidance. You want to be able to pick up on the guidance yourself,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're going to be spending lots of money, lots of time, lots of energy. And also, your guidance system is usually the best for you and what you want to pick up on. So that's why we're trying to teach people to empower themselves and not create some kind
Ah.
of imbalance where we're the gurus, we freaking know everything, and you don't know anything.
I'm not.
That's just total BS.
We're not saying we know nothing. We're saying,
Yeah.
you know, I want others to learn from me and empower themselves and then move forward in their lives. And you know what? We're channeling all the time anyways. We're just doing it more unconsciously. Like, when the phone's ringing and you know who's there on the other line before you pick up, or you have a strong gut feeling or an intuition about something before it happens. Who do you think is helping giving you that? Could it be your higher self or your soul, or could it be your team of angels? So we're just going to fine tune that, tweak it, so that you really know what's going on. And it helps you in all aspects of your life so that you can gain knowledge about what is transpiring. And instead of, I call it, banging around out there and making decisions and choices that maybe aren't necessarily for your highest and best good, you can hone in and tune in and then be able to access the information and then move in a better direction in alignment with your highest and best good. And as far as trans channeling, yeah, trans channeling will tire you right out. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying learn channeling first and then go on to trans channeling because it will drain you. And also, I like to be here when I'm channeling energy. So instead of trans channeling where you're taking the energy on 100% or close to, I'm taking on the energy maybe 20, 30%, maybe 40%, and allowing access through chakra centers, pulling energy forth, and the energy is forming words or thought forms, imagery, feeling, a knowing, an insight. So this is what we teach individuals to do, is how to hone in on that. So the next question here is, what has been your experience communicating with aliens or ET energies?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. I really, yeah, there definitely is a lot of stigma around channeling for sure, Michael.
Mhm.
That's what I've really seen in this community. It's a lot of fear, a lot of people, and I don't blame them, people don't know what they don't know,
Like attracts
Those,
like. So if you want low vibrational people around you, you're going to drop your frequency and have fearful thoughts, right? So
for
you're
sure.
allowed
And
those thoughts come in. It's the same, and energy is everywhere, whether it's a physical person or it's an energy on the other side. So what I will get repeatedly from the angels is, do your best to keep your frequency high vibrational, set your boundaries, you're in charge, and
mhm,
that's all that really truly matters,
mhm.
because nothing low vibrational is going to want to hang out around you or with you. If you're if you're here, anything low vibrational is not going to want to hang out with you. It's
Mhm.
not going to want to be around you.
This person's saying, how can we join your course? Or,
Okay, so you can go to KristinDaviesMedium.com,
mm,
and it will be right there. You can also check out my Instagram account, which is linked to this live. And for me, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't
mhm.
wait.
Yeah,
Um,
it always is. It's like everyone's, doing the same thing, evolving together.
mhm,
And like you said about, you know, a lot of people have this stigma around channeling. Well, like you said, we're kind of channeling all the time. Whether you go into a room and you're a very empathic person and you feel your friend's energy and they feel quite depressed
mhm.
or something, you pick up
You're
on
going to
that
feel that.
energy. You feel that energy. So that's kind of what channeling is you're picking up on not what this person's feeling, but what spirit's feeling or what the feeling that they're giving you. So what that's called is clairsentience, and that's why it's important to connect with our emotions. And a lot
Mhm.
of men on Earth are not connected at all with their emotions. That's why I like to teach a lot of men how to connect with their emotions and come down into the heart and open all the chakras, because this can be quite important for channeling too. Obviously receiving information from up here,
Mhm.
but also down here at the same time. A lot of times it's better, in my opinion, about the feeling of the energy is sometimes uh, is sometimes even better. And that's why people like light language so much, because they just feel the energy. You don't actually have to know the words that are coming from the energy, which is cool.
So this question here is talking about being tricked by lower energies. I I think it's so important that you learn how to communicate with spirit. Okay, number one, your angels, your spirit guides, they're going to be conversing with you if there is a low level energy around you. You're going to feel if there's a low level
Mhm.
energy around you, because your frequency is going to be higher.
The angels have got
And
your back too.
they
Like,
just
don't forget
totally have
that.
your back. Picture like the ultimate. You can call in Archangel Michael, Jesus, Mother Mary, whomever you want. To think that I'm going to be fearful of any energy is short of laughable for me personally. I don't have it in me to lower my thought forms to allow fear to overtake. There's no room in that. And I get it real good when I'm channeling the angels for people on a regular basis. The angels will not allow you to sync your own frequency on a repeated basis. They will not allow it. And they will remind
Yeah.
you on a regular basis if need be, or they will help shift your energy to be more high vibrational, therefore only the light. Okay. And ultimately, it's all light.
Mhm.
We're all moving back to the light. So, irregardless of anything low vibrational of any kind, it's all moving back to the light. So,
Mhm.
who's going to go there first? You?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lost soul. It's not necessarily that it might not be negative, they just might be lost. And then sometimes they will come to us because, they know that we can communicate with spirit. So they don't necessarily know that they can cross over yet. So we just kind of help them cross over by calling in an energy like Jesus or whoever to help to kind of cross them over to
Let
the
them
other side.
do the heavy lifting and the heavy work.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to do the heavy lifting. I don't have to do the heavy lifting. I got everybody else doing the heavy lifting here.
Mm.
And I will not drop my frequency, and I will not be fear-based in regards to anything or anyone. And that's any person. And I catch myself in the moment in my my day-to-day life, if need be. Or I get
Michael
correct.
saying, yeah, yes, queen.
Yeah, really.
No,
So
but
what does the mantis energy feel like in comparison to other ET energies? What have you noticed the difference? That's one of the other questions. It
the
feels
mantis energy.
insecty.
It feels different. When I've connected with the mantis energies, you can check out. I have a video on my channel about them, and I think I've made some shorts about them. But really, they're kind of the high vibrational ones that I've communicated with. They're very peaceful. They're very wise.
Yes,
They
very wise, very peaceful.
they have a
Yeah.
lot to say, and the amount of stillness that they bring is incredible. So if you
Yeah,
find it,
a lot of omnipresence, like very still, very peaceful, very quiet, and super, super intelligent.
mhm. And back to what they were saying about, about these negative energies, a lot of these old belief systems on Earth. So if you look at the Bible, if you look at Christianity, it's a lot of spreading a lot of fear. Like everything that's not God is that you're communicating to is a demon or something. A lot of these things are coming from these old belief systems that have been here on Earth for so long. So, that they're all tricksters or whatever. It's just a lot of old bliss, and I'm here for the new. I'm tuned to the new frequency.
Yeah.
And I'm not uh, communicating with this these old belief systems and this fear-based system. And a lot of times it's people just being paranoid, and
Yeah.
that's what even with me at first I was just paranoid that there's something, and I was like, what's that on the side of my head? What's that? I was like, Archangel Michael, can you please stop that on the side of my head? And it was Archangel Michael the whole time
What you
talking to me on the
think,
side.
what
Yeah.
you think might be negative really isn't. It's just a different frequency, or communication is a little bit different. And let's throw it out there. If you do have any energy around you that you don't like, being the people in your life, a job, your coworkers, an energy on the other side, whatever it is, you just say, angels, I want all low vibrational energy cleared out of my life, never to return. And feel free to do a regular checkup and transmute this into the light on a regular basis, including my own low vibrational thoughts as they arise. And so it
Mhm.
is done.
All right, I think we've hammered that topic a little bit too much now.
Yep, we really have. Okay, so how do you feel the ET energy come in when they want to communicate with you? And I know each in ET energy might feel different, but like the Blue Avians, for example, totally different when they come in versus the Pleiadians. So what does that feel like to you? Like what do you notice within your
So
body?
it's gonna be different for everyone, but with me, when the blue avians come in, it's like kind of shocking. It's
Yeah.
like shocking about my body, or like static on my body,
Yeah.
or like it's
It's like a surge of
sting.
energy
Yeah,
out,
I mean,
like, and
yeah, even sting me at times.
it feels slightly, it can, depending, maybe they're trying to get your attention and you're watching a TV show and they're like, zip, zip. Oh, someone's here.
Yeah.
Jesus will tickle the end of my nose repeatedly, and I'm like, and then I know it's Jesus. So they all have their little way. Mary Magdalene earmuffs me. God comes in through my throat and makes me cough. If I'm moving in a direction that might uh, bring about more or it's not necessary to move in a certain direction, then I'll just get that or communication for anything else.
Hmm.
Love
So
it. And
Nicole is saying she speaks her angels daily, and they have
love
done
that.
so much for me. They really do a lot. Like, I know they've created
Roses.
miracles for you and for me as well.
The smell of roses that come out of nowhere, that is the angels. 100%. And I noticed that way back, 18 years ago. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I said, what is that? And then I heard my guardian angel say, that's from me. I was like, thank you. So when the Pleiadians come in, they'll wash you over and it feels very like heavenly, wonderful. It feels so good. For me, I've had a lot of Pleiadian lifetimes, so it kind of feels like home in a sense.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. When the grays come in, it's very mental, not much emotion. You feel like your body kind of temperature gets cold. And there's the furthest stretch of communication of any emotion from them is like they're curious. That's about it on that one. Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, everyone's
So
talking about rose petals now.
okay, so how long have aliens been here? How long have they been here?
So they recently came about 10 years ago, and they just all of a sudden, that's what happened now. I think they've been here for pretty much the beginning of time
Yeah,
here on Earth,
correct.
and a lot of people talk about 200,000 years ago. That's when things were kind of spliced with our genetics, and people talk about the Anunnaki and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I tap into it, I don't get that it was just Anunnaki or that or this. I get that it was a multitude of different
Mm-hmm.
energies and different
Yeah.
collective energies from the Galactic Federation that help to kind of splice different genetics within the human genome, and also to help evolve the consciousness of human beings, not just through the genetics, because we all know that changing our vibrational frequency, that actually changes our DNA, our divine DNA, or activates certain parts of our DNA anyways. So really, it's not just about them changing physically, the genetics. It's also about awakening our consciousness and how we evolve over time through that. I think that's really cool. But yeah, I think they've been here on Earth for, however long, for like
When everyone's
super, super long.
omnipresent and their energy, there is no time. So they've really been here. I see the Pleiadians helping to seed Earth
Yeah.
and create Earth. I've also seen the Pleiadians helping to remove the dinosaurs when that was needed. And this question here in regards to like any kind of feeling through the forehead, yes. So you've got your ear chakras right here. You might notice those swirling. You might notice some energy coming and going here. You've got your third eye here. And they can also build energy through your third eye, through your two halves of your brain back to your pineal gland. And then it's an easy access point. Once you build enough light here, it's so easy for them to come in and communicate with you. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, and people forget we are the aliens. We are the Starseeds that came here. So whenever I see people that have incarnated in like the caveman times, all the way back, we're barely
Yeah.
before we even had language, and a lot of them have been Pleiadians or whatever, but the Pleiadians have been here forever,
I mean, how
incarnating here
many of us
forever.
actually do feel like aliens, like we don't belong here or we don't fit in here? And there's a reason for that, because Earth is not home. It's a temporary place in which we're here to learn and grow, like a school. Okay. Hmm. Oh, heck yeah. Jesus loves to give it to me. If you have like continuous tapping, it's a gentle way of your team getting your attention. I had a woman come to me once and she had like a lot of energy going through her sacral chakra. And it was just her team's way of getting her attention. Okay, she notices. So let's continue getting her attention. All right. Okay. What made you think that Earth wasn't home for you? That's the last question I have for you. So, what is it that made you feel like Earth wasn't home? Was it just a solid knowing from birth?
Uh,
Because this kid woke up later in life than you.
well, I was checked out of my body for a large portion of my life, and I think I kind of my consciousness started to kind of awaken around the age of 7 or 6 or 7. I started to realize, I was actually in my body, and my consciousness, I felt like it was actually here, and I felt like I didn't want to live here, and it felt like everyone around me was unawake.
Yeah,
Everyone is unawake,
because they
and I still
are.
kind of feel like, yeah, yeah, because they are, and very unconscious and unawake world, and even now to this day, I still think that way. Most people are quite unawake and unconscious. And a lot of people talk about what about these people that are NPCs, which means non-player character? I was like, it's not necessarily that they might be NPCs, it's just that they're unawake or they're unconscious. I think it's kind of dangerous to have that idea that, everyone's an NPC except me or something like that. Because some people are along their journeys and they're meant to play specific roles. And some people are more on the evolutionary path. Some people are here just to do one thing and that's it, and then they're going to cross over and do something else. But yeah, from a young age, I knew that I want to leave here. I want to die. I don't want to be here. I had suicidal depression all the way from this age of 7 to the age of 19. And this is something that a lot of starseeds actually have. And it's also because they're around a certain type of environment and they're kind of absorbing the energy around them, absorbing their parents' depression, absorbing. There's just it feels like the world that when I came in, it feels like it was void of love.
Yeah.
Felt kind of like that. Even though my mother and father showed me love, it didn't feel it still felt void of love, like overall is what I was
Mhm.
saying. And I feel like I didn't want to be here at all.
So
And
your
yeah.
your your experience was so different than mine. When I came in, I was unawake, but I was like watching what everybody was, even at a young age, I was watching at the dinner table. I was asking it, I was programming what was important to learn. I was like quizzing my mom about all sorts of topics by the age of 7. I remember feeling like, yeah, it's go time. And I did, peeps, to the point where you can wreck your body. So I've had to have a couple surgeries because I went a little too overboard, as a Pleiadian kid does. But I knew I'd been here a lot of times. I knew I was going to enjoy the food, enjoy the sights, enjoy the smells. I was going to rev this up right through the roof to the point where, you know, sometimes other people think that you're
Mhm.
vastly annoying for being too positive, but it was a party for one. And then it was complete obliteration through partying and having fun until my body broke down. Surgeries had to happen. And then that forced me on a different path. And thank goodness it did. And that
Mhm.
forced me into awakening. So
Mhm.
awakening can happen quite different for everybody. And if you feel alone, remember there are so many different communities and people and uh, different types of awake people that you can connect with, even if you do meetup.com and you meet up with other spiritual communities in your local region.
Mhm.
It's all, we have to reach out. We've got to push ourselves to do that, otherwise it can be very lonely. And what type of angel cards? Oh man, I love Radley Valentine cards. Radley Valentine, and you can order them through Hay House or Barnes and Noble. I think Hay House has them on sale for right now. And this one's Angel Answers. Love this deck.
Mhm.
But there are decks with archangels, star seeds. So the key is go for the deck that you feel drawn towards, that you keep looking at, that you feel pulled towards.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know the way that you teach Android cards is so amazing. And it's very like accurate. It's very liberating to learn how to use the angel cards at first because
Yeah.
if you're a little bit hesitant about channeling, this is the first step that you need to do is learn how to do these angel cards. And this is one of the things that you obviously teach in the courses and things.
How do you?
But you're hovering your hand over like this, and it's funny how you taught me that with the angel cards because I use that with everything
Yeah.
now. okay, which is the best doctor to go to,
Yep.
or which is the best stock for me to buy, or something.
Yep.
I don't recommend doing that, but too much. But I do usually do that, and it
Just
has
hold
worked. You know,
your
like
hand up.
yeah.
The angels will funnel their energy through your hand. Okay. And then you
Mm,
allow them to steer your fingers to maybe the crystals at the crystal shop that are best for you to
mm,
purchase, or the angel cards that you're going to purchase online. You put your hand up towards your laptop or your phone and just let it hover. See where the energy builds in your fingertips. Okay. So there's a lot that I've learned over the past 15 years that I didn't know, and the
mhm.
angels have taught me. So everything I teach in any of my courses and classes is passed by my team of angels first, and or taught by my team of angels.
Yeah, and it's really cool the abilities that you learn from these courses or just spiritual abilities in general. You get to carry that throughout the rest of your life. And that's what I've really realized. It just keeps on expanding, keeps on getting better. I'm like,
Mhm.
This is like a cheat code. This is like a cheat code to life. Like, why didn't it's like it's
You,
really cool.
you might notice the energy is working on you for like months afterwards or even weeks beforehand. Um, Ooh, there's a good question. Richard here, he's been in several of my courses, and he is doing exceptionally well, I have to say, from Norway. And he's asking any guidance about. They love that you're stretching yourself, that you're expanding your horizons, that you're trying something new, and that your willingness to step outside your comfort zone, be around new people. And they're also talking about you being in the sunshine, the
Mm,
sunlight. You're going to anchor some light codes through the sun rays, but also
mm,
just getting sunshine on your body. And they're also talking about you going in the water. So that
mhm,
would be very important for you to go into the ocean.
mhm. Yeah,
And now
I'm
they're
also
dusting off their hands.
I'm also picking up, Richard, you have to go live on Skid Row, be homeless on Skid Row. Just kidding. No, I'm just joking about that, Richard. But yeah, LA is definitely cool. I've been there quite a few. It's
Mhm.
definitely interesting energy there. Like it's crazy. I think I went to an alien
Oh,
con one time
oh
there.
yeah, you did do
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of festivals there and a lot of cool things. And the energy in there was just you just get blasted with ET energy, like the tall lights, everything. And
They're
I'm not a
waiting
huge
for you. They know
yeah.
you're coming to this event,
Yeah.
and they're like, they know everything about us that there ever could be known. Okay, there's nothing hidden.
Mm.
Uh, Maybe three times I haven't heard what spirit was saying, and that's because Jesus and my angels didn't want me to hear what they were talking about. I was like, oh, can't believe you guys.
And one thing I think would be really cool, I want you to share a story from what that you told me about the journey of souls and why we actually forget things before we
Yeah,
come to Earth.
it's really
Because it sounds nice. You're like, if people are like, it's a travesty that we don't remember everything. I was like, I don't know if we should know everything, you know?
Well, if anybody wants to learn more about the journey of souls by Michael Newton, who is a QHHT practitioner since passed over, he used to hypnotize people, and then he started realizing that he was tapping into your superconscious state of mind or your soul, and even your spirit guides would come through from time to time and say, "Hey, Michael, we can't be asking those questions." So I'm going to actually be discussing that book through my Facebook page if anybody's interested in coming and learning more in July. And so the importance of having amnesia coming into this. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't stick it out. And even then, you guys are like, so you've got to find the light. You've got to find the high vibrational experiences and the enjoyment of this. Otherwise, you're going to be bucking the current. And trust me, as you get older, I can speak from experience because I'm a lot older than maybe you guys think I am. You can buck the current even more as you get older, and we don't want that. We want to live a life that we're enjoying. And if it means van life, if it means tiny home life, if it means going and living on a plot of land, if it means going off to LA and having fun with your friend in the sun for a time, you find those moments to experience and have fun with. So as you're coming into this as a soul, they were describing this pink river of energy and being told you must dip your soul into this before you come to earth, which will help to create amnesia. It would be far too overwhelming for you in this experience if you didn't do that. And he had this one guy come in and he's like so overwhelmed because he didn't dip himself in the pink energy. And so he could remember a lot from previous lifetimes and the spirit world. And he was really struggling here on earth. So this lifetime's about creating new experiences, new moments for yourself. Make it count.
It would be like, so many of my lifetimes I had as a female, and in India and things like that. And then many of my lifetimes I was transitioning to male. You know, some of my lifetimes I was gay or something. So if I were to remember everything, remember all of those lifetimes, I would be more confused within this
Even
body. I'm already confused enough. I was already confused enough, you know, and not grounded enough. So it was like, shit, I better forget some of this stuff.
It came in for you one day. Do you remember this? And I'm like, well, I see Lakshmi here. Lakshmi's with you big time. And then I saw 15 East Indian women, and they're gorgeous. And they're all here supporting you from the other side in this lifetime. And they wanted to chat me right up to communicate with you. So I did. I channeled them good. Does anybody have any other questions that they want to ask? Ask away.
Yeah, if you want to ask any questions for Spirit or just for us, we would love to hear your questions.
If you guys,
this person's saying, I think I've channeled some Arcturian codes, but I haven't received some codes for some years now. Yeah, it's cool. I'm sure you are receiving some codes still.
Seriously, amazing. Also, what else was I going to say? How do they communicate with us through our dreams? Any guidance on that? That was one other question there. Like, how is it that they communicate through our dream state?
Well, anything that you dream about is 100% true and has 100% meaning, and you have to analyze it specifically. You have to dream journal, and you have to everything has 100% meaning. You have to take it 100% serious. No, please do not do that. You know, I have so many people that come to me like, what happened in this dream? What did that mean? I was like, I don't know. It's for you to interpret. You know, it's for you to like. I'm not gonna. But a lot of times their angels are just like, I don't know, you know, they can just interpret it. Because sometimes it's just our subconscious firing off in our dream state. Not always, but, and then sometimes we have a very lucid dream state or an out-of-body experience where it does have meaning and it does feel interesting. It feels weird. And you're like, like in my dream state, I had a dream state where I was taken on a ship with the Pleiadians, you know. And I was like, this is kind of weird. Why am I outside my body? And then they took me in their spaceship, and then looking around, and I didn't know who these beings were at first. And then because the night before I'd asked, I want to see my starseed origins. I want to know this. And boy, did I find out. I was like, holy crap.
Asking, you will find out. There's another thing that we should talk about. Like, people are wondering why they have visitations by grays, you know, past their bedroom window. And I said, did you watch any paranormal programs with Grace? Yeah, I did a couple days prior. I said, right. So when you notice them and you're watching them, they come and notice you, right?
Yeah.
So
the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Yeah, it's the truth of it all, isn't it? If you're like obsessed with something, learning something, but you get this heaviness and it's not important for you and you're going down a rabbit hole with it, then don't go there.
Yeah, so I basically, they took me to this planet, and then they took me to this like theater within their planet or something, some auditorium, and there was this huge pane of glass, and there was a bunch of foliage back there. It was like an exhibit. It was really cool, and it was this huge, massive blue bird, very beautiful. It was kind of like 5 or 6 feet tall, and it was kind of standing more upright, but it was a physical being, and it was just a massive bird. And that's when I kind of figured out, I was like, maybe I'm this type of blue avian, because there's many different types of species I would later find out. I was like, My God.
You've been busy, Paul. I remember seeing it with you, a blue avian, for the very first time. And was I scared? No, I've never been scared. Have I been slightly nervous because I'm seeing something I've never seen before? Well, yeah, I suppose anybody would be, but I don't let that get me. I just don't. But when I was seeing the blue avian, wow,
Mhm.
wow, spectacular eyes and the feathers, 5 to 6 feet tall. The eyes were gold. It was incredible. So here we have it. All right. So do the angels or ET energies have any messages for Michael?
Okay, for sure. Yeah, and this person's saying, are all communications friendly? Have you ever been scared? We talked about this earlier in the live,
Yep.
so we're gonna be
No,
if you wanna if you
no.
wanna if you wanna go and uh, see that later, you will also post this up on our YouTube channels, or you can just after this live is posted on our pages, you can be able to see that.
I've had a couple lost souls in homes. I used to own a house cleaning company, and so I was cleaning one of the oldest homes on the block, and I knew there was a lady in the closet, and she could hear my thoughts, no problem. And she was really quiet and hiding, and she was terrified of crossing over, and she was believing in the Bible, and she was terrified of where she was going to go. So she hunkered down in her house in the closet, off these people's main bedroom, and then I was asked to help her, so I did, and I helped her cross over, and then she wasn't in the closet anymore. But I don't get scared easily because my frequency, it doesn't resonate with me. I've had a disembodied voice next to my head, about 3 feet off the left of my head, in the basement of this other house, very old house, built in 1920. And I was doing a whole bunch of vacation rental clean out suites, and it was out auditory blasted at my head, and that was alarming. I calmly put my stuff down, and what did I do? I just walked out on the lawn, called in Jesus to take care of it. I watched Jesus go in, and this soul was totally lost. Okay, didn't know where it was, didn't know who it was, didn't know what was going on, and was rocking in the corner. This soul needed to be saved and helped because it was kind of stuck. And so Jesus just crossed him over very quickly. That's it. I don't need to be scared because I have a huge team like we all have. We can call in anyone to come back us up. And there's nothing out there that would
Mhm.
supersede what we
Okay,
have.
for sure.
Okay.
And so,
So any message for Michael?
yeah, that'd be a cool one to tap into.
Okay. You live objectively. You like to examine and interpret, which they think is wise. You don't fall into things blindly, which is good. Important to have a balance.
Yeah, I feel very calm when tuning into his energy and very even keeled. And
Very.
your team is very much the same way. And also, they don't have a whole lot to uh, tell you what you need to do because you're already doing a lot of things right.
Yep.
So it's almost like you're just on the right path and you're going to keep going on this right path, and there's nothing to
Mm-hmm. You're
really,
definitely doing
yeah.
things right.
Hmm.
They're saying it's okay to let go.
Yeah,
Let yourself go sometimes.
yeah. People are too serious. I notice on the spiritual path. They're like, oh,
Like,
well, I don't know. They're like, I don't know if this is bad, or is porn bad, or is this bad? It's like you just do whatever you want. If it's not affecting you in a negative way, really, and you're not like addicted to something, it's not necessarily going to be bad for you. You know, if you want to drink a little bit of wine or something, it's not a huge deal all the time.
so, anything else you want to say? The momentum of the path that you're on is going to continue. Exploration, expansion, growth. And you know what I see with you is I see a lot of green foliage. Like I'm in a place where there's a lot of greenery. So it's really good when you go out into nature. It's very grounding. It's very effective to help your energy. Notice how they say effective to help your energy. I think you've had incarnations in vessels that are very wise and more mental beings. Pleiadians are wise too, but they're very heart-centered. But I'm just the energy and the words that your angels are using, because they go where you go, right? So if you go off into an Arcturian body, then they're coming with you. So I think that you have a lot of wisdom within you, and you know what's right for you and what isn't. And that's a beautiful, sweet spot to be in life.
So Avery was talking
Princesses.
about. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So this person's I would love to know if you get a sense whether I have an Arcturian family or something different. Thank you. Any other guidance that comes through for me would be amazing. Thank you. Okay. This is for Avery.
Mm-hmm.
So, does she have Arcturian lifetimes? Yes. And what else? Uh, I'm sensing some Syrian
Mm-hmm.
type of energy. Um,
Keep getting Andromedan as well.
yeah. Yeah, I quite often see those paired
Yep.
together, Andromedan and Syrian. Usually people incarnate as Syrian a little bit more, and then Andromedan, they just kind of try it out for a little while.
Yeah.
Andromedan can be quite intense. Like,
Yeah.
they're quite intense. And I notice people only usually incarnate there like 50 times or 100 times or something. So that's pretty cool. So any other messages that would like to come through? Hmm.
Be bold, be
Mhm.
brazen. Don't back down. Don't stop.
Yeah, so they're talking about the kind of self-love that you need, and they're really proud of you of how far you've come, and just keep expanding the self-love within yourself. And this self-love is going to be told through being bold, through having action in this lifetime. So sometimes we have to do the action in order to make the steps that are going to turn us to be more confident, in order to build deeper self-love. We can always sit here in our divine feminine, and that's great, and not really take as much action, just work on our energetic work. And there's definitely a time for that, but then there's also a time for, you gotta turn in on the divine masculine energy, especially here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The society is very dominated by this masculine energy, so we have to do the action steps sometimes in order to kind of propel ourselves forward, especially with the way men are here. A lot of women don't even want to be around men, or don't even want to be with a man anymore, because a lot of men don't treat them right. So they kind of have to uh, embody some of that masculine energy within them, and kind of
Hold your
be
ground.
tougher, be a little bit tougher.
I get you got this. Go. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. They're just championing you and cheering you on and pushing you forward. And the other thing I get is I got this strength in my gut, and it's holding my body upright, and I'm be bold, be brazen. Okay. So if we're doing the wallflower or passive aggressive, passive submissive route, no. Princess is asking, what should I do to enhance this, and why am I getting visited by them? Ooh, are you ever? You're getting, ooh, I get, it feels like your angels are blasting me. Is this who you're getting visited by? They're attempting communication with you. It's time for you to open and expand your horizons and communicate with them on a regular basis. The time is now. Move forth, move forth. And so, what is the best way for her to practice doing this? Relaxing your mind and allowing them to fill your mind with their thought forms, and then writing them down on paper. Similar or like what we are doing with Kristin right now at this time. Thank you, dear one. Okay.
And if you want to ask a question, and you need to say, is there any message for me? You can ask that, but it's better to ask a more specific question, and then it'll narrow it down for us, and it'll narrow it down for the angels, and you get more specific answers, if that makes any sense.
It's your turn now to channel now, Sierra, on a regular. So it's a good thing
Mhm.
that you're taking the course, because it's time for you to do it for you. And I
Mhm.
just get blasted with your angels. And I mean, how many are here?
So
I
Bi-
get 14 right now in my face.
Biba, or I'm not sure, Baba or Biba. So, I've been told I've been Pleiadian in the past, and I've been a high priestess. Ooh, is that so? Is that something that I'm picking up on? Has she been?
Feel the energy.
Sorry, are you picking
Does
up
it-
on any Pleiadian energy here?
I am.
Okay, cool.
Are you? What are you
Yeah.
picking up on?
Yes.
Doesn't mean you've only been
So
Pleiadian.
yeah, there's definitely other energies there. I don't sense Pleiadian as like the most dominant one. So
No, I'm in agreement with that.
yeah.
It's not your dominant, but it's there.
Hmm.
I just get this incoming message from Source, Light and Love, Universal Oneness. And the message is, the light is always here, dear one. Simply tap into it. Do not be fearful. There's no room for that now. Only you can decide that. What you focus on, what you pay attention to most, is what you will create in your experience. So choose wisely, dear ones, for you are the manifestors of your realities. Thank you, Kristin.
Tatiana's saying, is there any message for me? Hmm. So Tatiana, I'm just gonna tap off and see what I get for you off to the side. I feel your guardian angel here. He's more masculine type of energy. He knows that it's not easy for you to be here on Earth in general, but he's very, very happy that you're here on Earth, having this experience, experiencing all the ranges of emotion. He's saying what's going to help you greatly is uh, turning inward and learning self-love. This is something that one of the things, one of your purposes that you've come here to learn. He says you're very giving, very loving person. Yeah, your team's very high vibrational, and I don't hear much else from them.
Fox, yes, Pleiadian and Lyran, but those are not your only incarnations. Uh, and Richard's also getting self love. Yeah, so he's because Richard can channel now too, because he's taken the courses with us. So it's pretty cool. And I'm also getting a lot of light just blasting through my vessel, through my crown chakra. I don't know if anybody else is getting that, but source frequency is just filling us up with some light right now. It's very quiet too, very still and very peaceful. Really important question here. Can you tell me if my special needs son wakes from fear of seizures or because he senses otherworldly energies? Seizures. There's no one there that is pestering him. Thank you, dear one. And we're going to call Archangel Michael to come move into your home to do any clearing that needs to be cleared. Your home is already filled with a lot of light. I
Hmm.
see a
Yeah,
ton of white light, and it's not just hovering over the top of your house, it's immersed throughout your home. It is encompassed.
yeah. Quite often, I think quite often people ask too much.
You
Sometimes
know,
they're like, you
they're
know,
they're chuckling and they're like, there's so much light in there that you think it was a church. Isn't that hilarious? I like to just sit sometimes in specific churches just because it's so filled with light and love. So it can be great to just wash yourself. I'm not religious, but I enjoy the frequency.
Mhm.
There's
So
nothing to be
Tatiana's
concerned here. No
asking me
concern
about.
here.
Perfect, perfect. And yeah, I think that's, when we ask, spirit, you know, we're wondering if they hear us sometimes, but they always hear us. And you only have to ask once.
Always.
And if you want to ask for a little extra shielding here and there, you can do that too. But we only really need to ask once, and Archangel Michael will hear us, and they always hear us. So Tatiana's talking about, she's getting the name Aradasani. Is this from her team? Let's see if we can pick up who this is from her team. That would be cool.
Not her angels, not the archangels, not a soul. So who is it? What do you get, Paul?
Is it an ET energy?
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely. So, which type of ET energy? That'd be
on a mission here to help you here on Earth. Smiling, so happy that you're picking up on his name. So he's on a mission. He's here to help you here on Earth. I'm assuming, or if somebody else wants to correct me, that this is your Starseed family member. More than that. What? How could it be more than that? Okay.
Might be her spirit guide or something.
What I got.
Yeah. So I think it has some they have some Arcturian energy. I was picking up on with it, and
agreed.
Yeah,
so picture this as your spirit guide.
That's funny that you picked up that weird name like that, Tatiana, for your Arcturian spirit guide. Because I also picked up a weird name for my Arcturian spirit guide. Her name's Gareya. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Very kind of it's almost like an African sounding name or something. It's totally different, you know. Maybe they choose these names to sound different, you know, stand out.
There's no Bob and Tim sometimes. Okay, so you guys, this has been pretty friggin' amazing, and it's been awesome. So we'll have to do this again, and we'll have to channel again. And if any of you want to join in with us from June 14th till the 18th, we're going to do lots of practice. Paul's going to help me, and I'm going to teach you how to channel. And that is $125, 5 days, full throttle. Join in around your own schedule, and download everything afterwards to watch and repeatedly watch for the rest of your lives. You can go to KristinDaviesMedium.com if you'd like to sign up. And any last words? Yes, my guardian angel would like to say a few last words. You've all got this in you. Practice often, tuning in and communicating with your divine team. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you, beloved ones. This is Kristin's guardian angel, Agnes. Beautiful. Love you guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, this is really exciting. Of course, you can check out my services as well.
Yep.
I do one-on-one channeling sessions, and Kristin does as well. And I think that Kristin's really good at channeling, guys. If you want to get a personal session, it really helped open me up a whole lot 5 years ago when I got this session. And now I'm here where I am today. I'm like, what just happened? I woke up and I was like, what happened? You know, it's weird.
And if you guys need something a little bit even less wise, you can take some of my classes. They're only $20. Okay, so I have a Pleiadian Starseed Origin class coming up, $20. So check it out. All right, you guys, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.